Hey guys, thanks for joining. I couldn't help myself. I wanted to share a few more photos on that cabinet restore I've been working on, that Chanticleer 2D 570 from the mid 1930s. So what I'm showing are some photos again of that process and technique that I followed to cut out and prepare the corner pieces for the new veneer. You know, those smaller 1/2 inch grill bar pieces, and trying to match the veneer there is not very concerning, but this piece here on the top is wider, again well over an inch, and again I am going to stick with the same technique as you could see there with the kind of the diamond cutouts or approximately 45-degree angle cuts. So we'll see what happens. I'm prepping this final grill bar here for the cut. You can see I've got the diamond cut, and I went right back up to where the veneer had broken off. And again, the same process there for this. And again, I use my my craft paper and actually trace these out. Now you can use another technique as well, which I've done with success. In this case I didn't, but you can lay your other veneer over the top of it and just kind of make a single cut. And you can get some very good precision following that method and procedure as well. One thing to take note of, if you're using that paperback veneer like I chose to use, be sure your substrate is nice and smooth. Otherwise you're going to have a lot of waves and issues when you start gluing down the paperback veneer. Even though I used that heat lock glue with success, I did have just a little bit of lifting of the veneer right here on this one corner piece, so I applied the clamp here for about 30-45 minutes. And got great results following the clamping. Some additional housekeeping was also done. I had a couple corners here that were loose on the cabinet itself, so I applied some glue using some plastic shims and left the clamps here in place for about an hour just to get that squared up. I finally have all the veneer in place. Everything's been sanded on this right side, and now it's time to apply some finish. Again, you know, I did my best, and that's all I could do. So we'll move on now, start applying some finish to the cabinet, and see what we can do to kind of hide some of these seams where the two veneers come together. So again, here I'm just sharing a few more photos, various angles, so you'll see some of the the challenges that we still have to overcome when it comes to matching the old veneer to the new veneer. Something I mentioned in the prior video, which is extremely important, try to do the best you can taking your new veneer and staining it up or using dyes or whatever and have it match the old veneer. Now what I did here was kind of blend the veneers together using some gel stain. Then you also see out on the side I have some fill sticks. And I have some graining markers, and also used an X-Acto knife itself to create some grain lines and tie the new veneer back into the old veneer. Now as I'm applying the fill sticks and using the graining pen markers, I'm actually just rubbing that in along the grain line, and then I'll be sanding a lot of that material back off as well as I start applying a grain filler. Now in this case I used a new product, an Aqua Coat grain filler. It's a water-based product and I really love it. It went on nice, and you can see here on the bottom section that I'm showing is where I filled the grain, and on the top side was the bare wood before I started. Let's take a look at the cabinet now. Again, I think I had 4 coats of grain filler on there. I used, again, the fill sticks, the toning markers, continued the grain lines down using the X-Acto knife. And I tell you, it turned out great. I also hit it with some toner lacquer, a pigment base, but very, very light, misty coats. And again, I'm trying to zoom in on the areas where I did the veneer repair. And again, I'm under a real bright light just to show any imperfections. So I've still got just a little bit of open grain, but believe it or not, as shiny as this looks or glossy as it looks, this is just, there's no clear here involved at all. This is strictly just toner lacquer over the top of the grain filler. So I got some amazing results, and I think once I go in with my clear coat, and again, I'm not going to use a gloss. If I do, I'll knock it down, but I'll probably go semi-gloss and then knock it down. But I'm very, very pleased with the outcome. Now you may ask, again, I only completed one side, and that was just to make sure that I could match the veneers, and then I'll actually do the other side. It's no big deal because this radio is actually kind of, it's just the same on both sides, so I'll be able to blend these two nicely. And then I'll probably hit it again with some, pigment-based toner lacquers as well, and just to kind of blend everything together before applying my final probably 3 or 4 coats of clear. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching the video.